It is 2024. It is a choice to continue to become baby mothers.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I am back again with another video. So I saw this video in the wonderful world of TikTok. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press play, and then I'm going to pause and play and give you guys my feelings, my thoughts, my opinions on this entire video.
All right, kind of want to get into a topic today. A little bit of background about myself. I am 27 years old. I have a 5-year-old daughter who's gonna be 6 in a couple of weeks, and I am also with child, second child. I'm having a boy. Basically, I came on here to kind of talk about my journey right now as a single pregnant mother. And I know everybody looking at me like I'm crazy now, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. You know who you had a baby by, and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, whatever. I'm not really the type of person to go do what I do, be grown, or whatever y'all want to call it. And then when I get pregnant, you know, like the A word, get rid of it. I'm not that type of person. I know what I did, and I'm definitely just not comfortable with getting rid of my baby.
So immediately off rip, she's saying, oh, you know, people must be saying, like, how did I get myself in this situation? Like, this is crazy. This is happening for the second time. Like, I know people must have strong opinions, and correct, right? Like, you know, if you're in this situation for the first time, people can have a certain ideology, but when you're going back and you're doing the same thing, I mean, there is nothing for anybody else to say, because you must know why you got yourself in this situation again. Now, the first thing I want to address is the fact that she's saying, oh, you know, she's not the type to do grown things and then, you know, use the A word, which would be getting rid of her child. You know, she's not down for that. But I'm always confused why women say that when there's so many different steps in between. Like, there's protecting yourself, there's birth control, like there's so many different contraceptives that can be used before you get to the point of having to, quote unquote, get rid of your child. So I never understand why women think that that is the only way to protect yourself against pregnancy, when we know for a fact that there's so many different attributes or so many different things that you can do or use.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not against people who, you know, are able to do that. Like, your body, you know, you do what you do for your body. Like, that's just you. I'm just not the type of person. And of course you don't think that, like, oh, you get pregnant when you're with your boyfriend, you think that you want to be together, you know, you want things to work out, and when it don't, it's not like you get rid of it, like, or something. I don't know, can't really explain it, but yeah, I'm not getting rid of my baby. I wasn't gonna get rid of my baby because I thought, you know, hey, we're gonna be together, we're gonna make this work. Unfortunately, it didn't. Cool. I would honestly say that this is not what I wanted. Like, I wanted to be married or engaged when I had my second child, because the first one didn't work either. Yes, I have 2 baby daddies. Yes, I'm a statistic.
Okay, so this is the part where, you know, we get lost in the sauce. So you want to be married. You wanted to be married before you had children, but you did not take any of the necessary contraceptives to protect yourself against getting pregnant before you got married. And you did this once before and it didn't work. And then you went, you know, to somebody else, you have a new relationship, and then you started the whole thing all over again. And you're still saying that you would have wanted that. But I think that we as women have to be honest with ourselves, right? And this is no shade to the person who created this video. Absolutely not. But I'm using this as a talking point, especially for other women and younger women, that, you know, whatever it is that you say you want, your actions have to actually align with the things that you said that you want. You can't say that you wanted to, you know, go the route of being married before you had children, and then you had a child. Okay, cool. You learned from you know, you would have thought that it would have been a situation where you learned from that and said, okay, I'm going to protect myself so that I can make sure that I'm going about things the way in which I want to go about them. And again, protecting myself as in birth control or any other contraceptives, and then making sure that were actually married before you had that child or proposed to or whatever the case is. But you were a boyfriend-girlfriend situation and did the same exact thing that you did the first time, the second time. So is it true that you wanted to actually be married before you had children? Or is it the situation of you just been kind of going with the flow and saying that you want one thing but doing something completely different?
Yes. All your questions, yes. But y'all not gonna get on here and make me feel bad. Like, I know what I did. Okay, like, whatever. But I know I'm not the only person that's going through this. So that's why I honestly came on TikTok to talk about it. Because pregnant and single is, like, by far one of the hardest things I've ever encountered. On top of being a mother, on top of working full time, like, oh my God, y'all. This is hard. This is, like, really hard. And that's why I came on here. Like, mostly to vent, you know. And then sometimes it be a lot of uplifting uplifting people out here. But
So really the ideology was for people to make her feel better about the decisions that she's made and kind of clap for her or applaud for her or, you know, rub her shoulder and say, baby, it's going to be okay, because we've also made these mistakes and we've also put ourselves in the same exact position, so we can completely understand where you're coming from. And I have to be honest, you know, her making the disclaimer and saying like, oh, you know, don't make me feel bad for the decisions that I've already made. I have to be honest and say that if we were in positions where we did make more women feel bad for making these kind of decisions, a lot of women would think twice, 3 times before making certain decisions, because they would understand that they don't have a rally of people, a group of people rallying behind them, because, you know, they're also in the same exact predicament. We would have less people in that predicament because we would be holding women accountable for their actions, for putting themselves into these places. And I understand, you know, so many people say, oh, well, you know, you act like these women are the ones who got themselves pregnant. And no, I completely understand that it takes 2 to tango. However, as a woman, you're the one who is going to be carrying the burden of being pregnant and single, right? You and that man break up. He has nothing to do with the situation until that baby is born, regardless of maybe he's going to doctor's appointments or whatever, but he's not going to be enduring the same feelings that you are while you are pregnant and single.
yeah, pregnancy. And then you see everybody, like, when they're pregnant with their spouse and they're doing all the pictures, everything looks so cute, and you just like, oh, like, I wish that was me. Like, yeah, that's me right now. Very emotional, very wish that I had a boyfriend, very wish that I was with the person that I had my child with, you know. You wish that because that's what you want. Like, you want to give your kids a 2-parent household. Yes, I wanted all of that.
I want to say this too, you know, and again, are your actions aligning with the things that you say that you want? But I also want to say this: wanting to give your kids a 2-parent household, wanting to be in a relationship before you procreate and have children, I understand, right? Life happens. Okay. I'm very well aware of that reality, that some people can get into situations, a boyfriend and girlfriend, one thing leads to another and they make a mistake and they end up, you know, getting pregnant and having a child. I understand that. But again, this is not the first go around for this situation. This is go around number 2. So that means you already are aware of your fertility status. You are already aware of, you know, the possibilities of what could be. And since you endured going through a breakup after having a child the first time, you would think that you would want to be more cautious and careful of not having that situation happen another time. Right. And I also want to say this. People say, oh, well, you know, you can get married to get divorced. And, you know, that doesn't mean that it's going to keep you guys together. And it doesn't. However, when you are a woman and you are entering into a relationship with somebody, the connection that the two of you have, where that person would even propose to you or you know, ask for your hand in marriage, that is letting you know that that person is going to stick things, you know, with the best benefit, tried to stick things out with you through the long haul, through hard times, through difficulties, through whatever, that person is already letting you know that prior to you even conceiving a child, they are wanting to, do life with you. So you then getting into a situation where it's just, you with your boyfriend, girlfriend, y'all are kind of just chilling, it's up in the air. You don't even know where their mind is when it comes to marriage. You're not sure, their ideas or if they even want to be with you for the long haul. Like, you have no idea. You have no idea. There's a big difference.
And watching other people go through it, I just be like, oh my God, like, y'all so lucky, because being single, it's just like so many emotions, so many things you go through. You just like by yourself. Like, don't get me wrong, family and everything is very important. Family, friends, yes, love y'all down. Love y'all down, down, down. Like, y'all have been my support system. But it's different when you have the male figure that, that you share the baby with. Like, it's so different. It just feels different. Like, at the beginning of my pregnancy, I did have him. We was good. We was working through everything cool. But just things, didn't work out. So, decided to split up or whatever, mutual feelings. Like, we both decided that it was for the best. Yeah.
Why would you both decide that that's for the best when clearly it's not for the best of your benefit? So either that means that maybe he left her, or sometimes women do this thing where they get all big and bad and they act like they don't need the man and they could do better by themselves, and they jump the gun and basically break up the relationship. And then they try to, then when they actually go out there after they said, oh, I'm done, I don't need you, I don't need to be with you, you think I could raise this baby by myself. After they say all those things and actually go out there, then reality strikes. And then they're like, man, maybe I spoke too soon, or maybe I put my ego in the way of this actual relationship, or maybe I let my emotions lie to me and tell me that I don't need this person when actually I realize I do.
I do want to say that to my other mommies who has a toddler and who's pregnant and working and just basically trying to make sure everything is okay, like, mommy guilt is definitely going to kick your butt. If it's not already doing so, it's going to get to you. Don't let it get to you. Like, try your hardest to fight through it. I know it's hard to say this, but, like, I'm literally experiencing it. Like, you got to fight. You gotta fight. You gotta fight, babe. You got to, because if you stay in your head, like, thinking about all the stuff that you could be doing, or you feel like you're not doing enough, whatever, ma'am, you are one strong individual. You're doing this by yourself. Like, you got this. And not trying to take credit from people who do have their spouse. You're a strong individual as well. Trust me, I'm not trying to take away from motherhood. No, we all some strong women. You got a kid, step kid, whatever. You're a strong individual. But my message is really just pinpointing out to single, pregnant women, whatever, even if it's your first, or if you already got a baby. Like, this is hard. It's not no game. It's not no joke. Like, we really out here fighting for our lives, and we got this.
I think, in my opinion, this conversation, she said, is targeted to other women who are in her exact position. And I think that the conversation should be targeted to women who are not in the same position, who could be in the same position, right? I think the conversation should be centered towards, make sure that you are in a committed relationship before you decide to conceive. Make sure that if you are going to conceive and you want to be married first, make sure that that is a priority and you take, the necessary precautions to make sure that you don't get pregnant. I think the conversation should be geared towards, if you are in a relationship right now and you are pregnant, don't try to act like you're big, bad, and bold and not make the relationship work. Figure out whatever it is that you need to figure out to make it work so that you're not in this position. I understand she's in the position, so she's speaking from her point out, but I think that, again, a lot of ways that these things can be, that other women can have different perspectives, is when they're not really getting the pat on the back and the rub on the shoulder, but when they're actually just hearing the reality of, like, don't put yourself in this position. I think that is definitely more meaningful.
Stay strong, everything happens for a reason. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but it does. But mommy, we got this. We got this. that concludes my little rant. I'm gonna try to get on here and do a daily journal every day, just to check in with my fellow females, you know. Yeah, it's kind of helping me too, because like I don't got a lot of people to talk to, so coming on here talking to y'all, it's kind of like stepping outside of my zone. I wouldn't do this normally, but I had made a post on Facebook and it got so much love, y'all. Like, it got so much love. So that's why I'm like, maybe, you know, it is somebody else out here that would like to hear my story, or I can hear y'all's story. Like, I'll talk to y'all. I don't mind answering questions, you know what I'm saying? I'm here for y'all. That's it. We got this, y'all. Bye.
Everything for sure does happen for a reason, right? Absolutely. But sometimes the reason is very plain and simple. Sometimes the reason is that you went through the situation the first time and you did not change your behavior, or again, align with the things that you say that you want. And so you end up in the same exact predicament again. Sometimes it's not as deep as like, oh, you know, I'm supposed to be like, sometimes we put ourselves in certain positions again because of repetitive behavior instead of learning from the things that we're going through. Because, you know, when you see the things that pregnant women actually go through, it's not easy. Right? It's not. And a lot of times you could be high risk. You could be, you know, going through so many different things internally and even medically. And if you are there and to add, you know, insult to injury, you're also dealing with like the depression of being alone. That's not going to help anybody in the situation. That's not the best, you know, situation for you, for your child, for whatever the case is. And so again, as much as a lot of women enjoy coddling and enjoy support, enjoy, you know, patting yourself on the back so that you can feel good about your decisions, we also need to hold space to be, you know, holding women accountable, as well as being real about the situations. Not just cookie cutter and everything is all fine and dandy. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.